A young mother brutally murdered in the safety of her own home, a heartbroken husband pleading for justice, and a case that gripped the world with its shocking twists. What really happened to Caroline Crouch? Was it a robbery gone wrong, or something far more sinister hiding in plain sight? Stay tuned, because this case is unlike anything you've heard before. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope Crimes, where we unravel the most mysterious and spine-chilling cases that keep you hooked until the very end. Today, we're diving into the tragic and deeply unsettling story of Caroline Crouch, a 20-year-old mother whose life was cut short under the most shocking of circumstances. From the beginning, this case seemed like a straightforward robbery turned tragedy, but the deeper investigators looked, the more the cracks in the story began to show. Before we begin, if you're a fan of gripping true crime stories and you love solving puzzles, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what we've got coming up. Chapter 1. A Picture-Perfect Life. Caroline Crouch seemed to have it all. Born in the UK and raised on the idyllic Greek island of Alonissos, Caroline was known for her vibrant personality and love of life. At just 20 years old, she was married to Babis Anagnostopoulos, a handsome helicopter pilot, and the two shared a home in Athens with their baby daughter, Lydia. Social media painted a picture-perfect family, romantic getaways, loving smiles, and their beautiful baby girl. But as we've seen time and again, appearances can be deceiving. Chapter 2. The Night of Terror. On the night of May 2021, Babis made a frantic call to the police. He claimed their home had been broken into by ruthless burglars. According to him, the intruders tied him up, tortured Caroline, and ultimately suffocated her while their baby slept nearby. The scene was horrifying. Caroline was found lifeless on the bed, and their dog was strangled and hung outside, a chilling message left behind by the supposed intruders. The story gripped Greece and the world. A young mother violently killed in what seemed like a senseless crime. But something about the scene didn't sit right with investigators. Chapter 3. The cracks begin to show. As detectives pieced together the events of that night, inconsistencies in Babis's story began to surface. Security footage from the home was key. According to Babis, the burglars entered around 4 a.m., but the security system had been disabled hours earlier. What's more, Caroline's smartwatch painted a chilling picture. It recorded her heart rate right up until the moment she died, and the timeline didn't match Babis's version of events. Questions arose. If this was a burglary, why wasn't more stolen? Why were the supposed burglars so violent with Caroline, but left Babis alive? Chapter 4. The Shocking Confession. After weeks of public mourning and media appearances, Babis was arrested in June 2021, right after attending a memorial for Caroline. In a shocking confession, he admitted that there were no burglars. He was the one who murdered Caroline. According to Babis, they'd argued that night, and in a fit of rage, he suffocated her.
The examination of some evidence, and especially the digital evidence that we'd confiscated from the site, gave us some clues, especially the evidence that showed movement of objects, in particular the husband's phone, during the same time he had testified that he was tied up.
To cover his tracks, he staged the elaborate break-in. The dog, the tied-up appearance, the heart-wrenching calls for justice. It was all an act to mask the dark truth.
Murder in May shocked Greece. Her husband describing a violent gang who he said had tied up the parents, threatened their baby child and then killed his wife. In the days after, Anagnostopoulos cut a bereaved and broken figure.
The nation was stunned. How could someone who appeared so loving and devoted commit such an unthinkable crime? Chapter 5. The Trial and Fallout. In court, Babis claimed the killing was unintentional, a result of a heated argument. But prosecutors painted a far darker picture. They described him as controlling and manipulative, with a history of emotional abuse. The trial captivated Greece and the world as shocking new details about their marriage emerged. Friends of Caroline described her as unhappy and isolated, far from the idyllic life portrayed online.
He asked what's going on, and his reaction is kind of strange and awkward. He told them that the memorial isn't over and asked the officers to let him attend the memorial until the end. They refused to let him and told him for his own good to hide his cell phone and not call anyone, and that they have to leave.
In May 2022, Babis was sentenced to life in prison for Caroline's murder and an additional 10 years for killing the family dog.
Τέρας, Τίνος, θα σ' απείς στη φυλακή ρε καριόλι! Τίνος, θα σ' απείς στη φυλακή, αλήτη!
While justice was served, the scars left by this tragedy remain. A cautionary tale. The murder of Caroline Crouch is a heartbreaking reminder of how appearances can be deceiving. Behind closed doors, even the most picture-perfect lives can hide unimaginable pain. Caroline's story also shines a light on the importance of speaking out against domestic abuse. If you or someone you know is in a harmful situation, there are resources and people ready to help. What do you think about this case? Did Babis's carefully staged alibi surprise you, or did you suspect him from the beginning? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into one of the most shocking crimes in recent history. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who loves true crime, and hit that subscribe button for more compelling stories like this. Stay safe, stay curious, and we'll see you in next Friday's episode of Kaleidoscope Crimes.